Oh man, what a what a night! What a night it was on Monday Night Raw. I'd say I really don't even know what to say, man. I legit I'm sitting here right now, and yeah, I feel clueless. I'm sitting here and I feel absolutely clueless about what to say. The show was really interesting from 9:40 on in the worst way. I don't think tonight's Raw was the worst Raw of the year, which a lot of people in the community are saying. My friends in the community are saying, but my goodness. WWE had, I tweeted, I made a video about this today. WWE had high momentum after SmackDown and Money in the Bank these past two nights, or Friday night and then last night with Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank was a really good pay-per-view last night. And could WWE follow up with that momentum on Raw and every week heading into SummerSlam? And man, it almost felt like that. What was it? Someone quote tweeted one of my tweets. I'm gonna read it. I don't know if you're watching, but Tony Mortadelli, his name is on Twitter. If you're watching, shout out to you. And I read his tweet that he quote tweeted to my tweet, my last tweet before I came on here, and he's absolutely right. He is absolutely right by saying this. He says it's like Vince put a bunch of ingredients in the blender, turned it on, made a cake, and put the cake in the blender with more ingredients, and then served it as a smoothie. I think that's a perfect description of tonight's show. You have the ingredients to make the cake. You go too much, you go over the edge, and it turns into a complete disaster. And that's what tonight's Monday Night Raw was. A complete disaster. A complete disaster of the show tonight, man. I mean, we're gonna talk about this for the review, but I mean, people are losing their minds on Twitter right now, man. I mean, Jesus. Wow, people are losing it right now, man. Unbelievable. We'll take a look back at what happened at the show. I mean, John Cena opened up the show. Basically, guys, John Cena was the best thing on the entire show tonight. He cut a promo on Roman Reigns and the WWE Universe. You know, if we were to get billed for John Cena versus Roman Reigns for SummerSlam, just 3 hours, John Cena and Roman Reigns building for their match, you know what? I'd be okay with that. I would be okay with that. Building John Cena and Roman Reigns for 3 hours instead of what we got tonight. Part of me wanted to see Roman Reigns show up, but that did not happen. He'll be on SmackDown Friday, though. But John Cena was the best thing on the entire night, and it wasn't even close. Not even a debate. John Cena and Roman Reigns seems to be confirmed. And then pretty much nothing happened. After John Cena, nothing of importance happened on the show until about 9:40 p.m. At 9:40 p.m., that's when Bobby Lashley came out for his open challenge. It was not for the WWE Championship, but Keith Lee, the man that everybody's been wondering where he's been for 5 months. This guy was gone for 5 months. No reason why. The WWE gave you zero explanation as to why Keith Lee is back. But Keith Lee answered Bobby Lashley's open challenge. And then we got Goldberg. Goldberg came out. And he got in Bobby Lashley's face. And then we saw the debut of Karrion Kross. Man, what a disaster that was. What a complete embarrassment that was. The NXT champion loses in 2 minutes to Jeff Hardy. And no disrespect to Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy is a legend. Jeff Hardy is going to be a Hall of Famer. I love Jeff Hardy. But over the past year and a half, Jeff Hardy has been booked like a jobber in WWE. And in NXT, this guy beat 5 of the best that NXT has to offer in a Fatal 5-Way. And then here he is tonight on Monday Night Raw as the NXT champion, being buried by Jeff Hardy in 2 minutes. And not only him, the entire brand is buried. It irks me to say that, too. It actually pains me to say that with this loss from Karrion Kross tonight, this makes everybody on NXT, the entire brand, it makes everybody look like a complete bunch of losers. And I'll get to that why when we get to Karrion Kross, Jeff Hardy. And then the main event. The main event, Rhea Ripley, Charlotte. Oh, God. You know, I was really hopeful for Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch was at the Dickey Center last night for Money in the Bank. She even posted a photo on Twitter and Instagram that she was there. So she was there last night, and this would have been the perfect night to bring her back. I mean, she'd probably win the championship, but I mean, Monday Night Raw is so bad, I'd have absolutely no problem with Becky Lynch coming back and taking the title. But nope. We did not get that. Instead, we got a one-day title reign from Charlotte Flair. She was the Raw Women's Champion for 24 hours until she was cashed in on by the superhero. She was cashed in on by the superhero, Nikki A.S.H., as what commentary likes to call her. Not Ash. They go, Nikki A.S.H. is the Raw Women's Champion. Yes. The superhero is the champion. And then after that, 30 seconds later, they went right off the air. I seriously can't remember the last time we had a long period of time where a woman in WWE held the women's Money in the Bank briefcase, such as Carmella. That was the last time we saw a long reign as the Miss Money in the Bank. 2018, Alexa Bliss cashed in on the same night. 2019, Bayley cashed in on the same night. 2020, the next night, Asuka was rewarded the championship because Becky Lynch was pregnant. And now tonight we saw this. I don't want to say this was. I don't think it was the worst show for Monday Night Raw this year by any means. I'm still going to give it to that March 29th show, the second week before, like 2 weeks before WrestleMania, I think it was. That show was just miserably bad because we saw hopscotch or report cards from Shane McMahon to Braun Strowman, and hey hop hop with Miz and Bad Bunny. That was complete dreadful to watch. But tonight I would say was a pretty bad show, man. Tonight was horrible. Horrible. We are already 10 minutes into the video, man. Ridiculous. 10 minutes into the video, and I haven't even started the review yet. But thank you guys for joining me here tonight. That was a long opening here for the channel, man. I got my hopes up. I got my hopes up tonight for Raw after a really good pay-per-view. Fans, could we get Becky Lynch back tonight? That did not happen. And unfortunately, we were let down. But what are you going to do, man? What are you going to do? If you haven't already, before we get into the Raw review, if you haven't already, if you guys want to, be sure to go check out last night's Money in the Bank review here on the channel. I will plug it at the end of the video. You'll have this. You'll see the box with the Money in the Bank review on it. You click it, and you'll go right to the review, man. So right after that, 20 seconds right after the review's over, a box will appear with the Money in the Bank review. You click it, and there you go. You're on my Money in the Bank review. We're almost at 100 views, I think, for that one as well. So if you have not already, be sure to go ahead and check that out, man. Go ahead and check it out. Gotta talk about this show. We're at 90 views. 90 views on last night's show, but gotta talk about this show tonight, Money in the Bank. John Cena opened up the show, and like I said in the beginning, easily the best thing on the show tonight. John Cena. John Cena comes out to a big pop in Dallas, Texas. This show is at the American Airlines Center tonight at Dallas, Texas. So John Cena comes out and he says, "What a night last night was." He plays up the crowd and he gets them hyped, and he says, "Why am I back? It's because of you, the WWE Universe." And he plays the crowd again, gets the crowd hyped. And he says, "I'm also back because of Roman Reigns." And he says, "What do I want?" And he says he wants the Universal Championship at SummerSlam in Las Vegas. And you can already see where this is going, man. And he says, "But what do I want it for?" He says, "I don't want it to break Ric Flair's record and become a 17-time world champion and to break that record. You know why I want it?" And it got bleeped out, but it was pretty obvious. He said, I want it because Roman Reigns is an asshole." He says, "Roman Reigns is one of the most arrogant, pathetic, overprotected, cocky assholes that I've ever seen. And he walks around here thinking he owns this place, while my name still exists in WWE. And he wants to teach Roman Reigns a lesson." And he said, "Roman, you might not have seen me last night, but I'm telling you right now, you are going to see me on Friday because I will be on SmackDown. So if you're there, I'll be there." So that was John Cena's there. That was John Cena's promo, and it was really good, man. John Cena knows how to get a crowd hyped, but unfortunately, John Cena could not keep this crowd hyped for the rest of the night because, I mean, look what we got. Look what we got tonight. But John Cena, Roman Reigns, man. It's gonna be magnificent. The storytelling, I can imagine, is going to be unbelievable. John Cena is going to be on SmackDown this Friday. It should be very interesting. Do we get our first head-to-head promo with Cena and Reigns Friday night on SmackDown? I don't know, man. I don't know, but definitely be tuning in to SmackDown Friday night to... Excuse me. Definitely be tuning in to SmackDown Friday night to see what happens with Cena and Reigns. Should be interesting, and I'm totally invested, man. I really am. But unfortunately, the negativity starts with this show, and like I said, right after John Cena, right up until 9:40, nothing of importance happened on this show. So I'm just going to breeze by this. We had the Viking Raiders team up with Matt Riddle to go up against John Morrison, AJ Styles, and Omos. The crowd was chanting Johnny Drip Drip. So it still seems like he's very over with the crowd. And, good for him, I guess. Good for John Morrison. He's one of those underutilized guys, I feel like, on the Raw roster and in the WWE roster alone. I feel like The Miz has held him back, but now he's going by America's Most Wanted. That does not sound good, man. America's Most Wanted with a freaking dripstick on his shirt with water squirting out of the dripstick. Not for me, man. Not for me. I don't like that. Don't like it at all. But this was a fun six-man tag. The babyfaces get the win after Matt Riddle steals the dripstick and he squirts it onto Omos, throws it back at Miz, and then Riddle goes running. And Omos is thinking that Miz squirted the dripstick at him. Omos is then stalking Miz. Morrison gets in his way. Omos then throws Morrison back into the ring into a Thor's hammer from the Viking Raiders, and the babyfaces get the win. So it was a fine match. Probably the best match of the entire night, which doesn't really say much. So there's that. Jackson Ryker versus Elias in a Sympathy of Destruction match. Jackson Ryker won. I really don't know why these two were fighting after Ryker literally beat him in a strap match 2 or 3 weeks ago. The ending was cool. Ryker hit a suplex through 2 tables. But at the end of the day, no one could possibly give a crap about any of this stuff. And it was hard to get invested. So, Elias wins. No, I'm sorry. Ryker wins. Jesus Christ, I'm tired. Charlotte had a championship celebration. She's talking about all these accolades. 11-time champion. She's an 11-time champion. There you go. I feel like WWE is just taking the titles off just to make it seem like she's like a 14-time champion or whatever shit. But she says she's an 11-time champion. And then crowd starts chanting, "We want Becky, we want Becky." And Charlotte says Becky is at home breastfeeding while I'm still carrying the division or whatever shit. Charlotte Flair's living rent-free in Becky Lynch's head, man, because Becky is in Charlotte's head. You see Becky Lynch's Twitter? She even said, what'd she say on her Twitter? I gotta go back and look at this now. She said, forever in Charlotte's head. Man, Becky Lynch is a freaking goat on Twitter, man. Unlike Seth, unlike her husband, Becky Lynch has a good Twitter game, man. She really does. But this brings out Rhea Ripley, who asked for a rematch. And Charlotte says, well, you're injured. And, I could beat you any night of the week. But for your sake, I'm going to decline. Then Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville come out and they say, well, you, what was I going to say? Jesus Christ. Well, you said you could beat her any night of the week. And how about tonight in the main event, you put up your title on the line against Rhea Ripley. So that's the main event tonight. And we'll talk about it when it happens because we got a new champion. And it's not Rhea Ripley. Natty and Tamina against Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. Again, because they have nothing else. And it's completely boring. It's like they go into this show and be like, oh, we've done these matches in the Thunderdome. But you know what? It's the first time Raw is with live fans. You know what? They haven't seen these matches. Why don't we just give them the same matches we did in the Thunderdome? Elias and Riker, Natty and Tamina vs. Shayna and Nia, Sheamus and Humberto. Why don't we just give them the same matches? That's what it's like. I guarantee you that's how the creative meeting went today. 5 hours before Raw went on the air. But Natty and Tamina win, and Shayna Baszler takes the pin because, of course, Shayna Baszler takes the pin. Then after the match, Shayna's pissed off at Reginald, all the same shit. But then this time, Nia Jax gives Reginald a headbutt, and Shayna and Nia walk off together. And then Reginald's all sad, and the 24/7 guys come out, and Reginald ends up winning the 24/7 title. And then Byron Saxon's trying to put this over, like, oh yeah, look at Reginald now. He's a star. He's got the 24/7 title. Nia Jax is going to want him back. We're still doing this shit with the 24/7 title, man. Edge even cut a promo on Talking Smack 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, whatever. And he said, for all of his championship accolades and all the championships in WWE, and he says, I don't count the 24/7 title. I mean, if you got wrestlers on your roster saying that the 24/7 title doesn't even count, why is it still there? It's not funny anymore. It's not cool. It's the same stupid shit all the time with the title, man. Just burn it. Just burn it and hang it up, man. It's not cool anymore. It's not cool anymore like the days of Drake Maverick and R-Truth. It's done. It's ran its course, man. And then we had Sheamus and Humberto. Sheamus and Humberto to Karrion in what they called a championship contenders match. So I guess this is their new way of having champion and non-title matches. They're going to call them championship contender matches. They had 3 of those matches tonight. I wonder how much we're going to get on SmackDown and we're going to get on Raw next week and the week after. Probably every damn week. But we had a championship contender match between Sheamus and Humberto. Sheamus wins. Do you care? I don't think so. I think we all know the next direction goes, and that's Damian Priest hopefully winning the championship at SummerSlam. And then we hit 9:40. we hit 940. So we were right before 940. We went from what was a boring show. It wasn't ridiculously bad. It was boring, but at 940, it started to get newsworthy and it started to get pretty fucking bad, man. So Bobby Lashley comes out for this open challenge, and MVP's cutting a promo on Kofi Kingston, and he says you guys are booing the champion because in Dallas you haven't had a champion in 50-something years, referring to the Dallas Cowboys. Screw MVP for talking trash on the Dallas Cowboys. That's my team, man. Besides the Dolphins, that's my team. And then they talk more about Kofi and destroying Kofi, and he said that Lashley was right about Kofi, and the women and the champagne all need to stop. We had the fun while it was, but we're back on the road, and that means we are back to business. And they're wondering who's going to step up to the open challenge, and it was Keith Lee. I was very happy to see Keith Lee. Number one, I'm happy he's okay. It seems like he was going through mental issues when tweeting about whatever. He says, I'll tell my story when it's time. And Mia Yim was on it a lot. She expressed tonight how happy she was. I was happy to see Keith Lee until I saw him get absolutely jobbed out in 6 minutes. And no, I don't care. I don't care I don't care if Bobby Lashley's the WWE champion or not. When Keith Lee came out, I'm like, you know what, man? This would be a good match for SummerSlam. That's a match people can get behind as well. That match, I think, was a possibility for WrestleMania for the United States Championship. And this match at SummerSlam at Legion Stadium for the WWE Championship would have been a nice upper card match for Monday Night Raw. What they could have done is it was a championship contender match. So if Keith Lee wins, he gets a title match. You know what I would have done? It probably would have been the best outcome, so you don't beat Keith Lee clean on his first night, and you don't job out Keith Lee on his first night, and you don't pin Bobby Lashley for a second week in a row on Raw. You know what I would have done? A DQ finish. Bobby Lashley beats the shit out of Keith Lee, not like he did Kofi Kingston last night, but he beats him at the turnbuckle, and the ref has to call for the DQ. He keeps doing it. He hits a couple spears, hurt lock maybe, and Keith Lee wins. Keith Lee didn't pin Bobby Lashley, but Keith Lee is now in line for an NXT title match because technically he beat Bobby Lashley. And that could have been the way you get to the WWE Championship match, but Keith Lee and Bobby Lashley. But nope. In fact, we got the exact goddamn opposite thing. Keith Lee jobs out to Bobby Lashley in 6 minutes, and then out came Bill Goldberg. And he got in Bobby Lashley's face, and he yelled at him, "You're next." And I've been saying it since it was rumored. Shit, man, I've been saying it for weeks. If somehow Brock Lesnar was unlikely for SummerSlam, which it turns out Brock Lesnar is not going to be working SummerSlam, I would not be shocked if WWE tries to get Goldberg to face Bobby Lashley. Because in their eyes, Goldberg's a big star. And yeah, Goldberg might have got cheered tonight because, unexpected, big surprise, returning legend. I knew tonight he would get the pop. I did not think when we heard Goldberg's theme music unexpectedly there was just going to be boos. So the fact that he got cheered tonight, I expected that. But in terms of fan reaction, in the future leading up to SummerSlam, at SummerSlam in Vegas, 60,000 people, he's going to get killed. And I don't mean killed by Bobby Lashley. He's going to get killed by the fans. And they're going to let him hear it. They're going to let WWE hear it. Bobby Lashley is going into this match as the babyface. Because nobody in their right mind wants to see Bill Goldberg beat Bobby Lashley. Now, is Goldberg going to beat Bobby Lashley? I don't think so. Because Goldberg's on a 2-match contract per year, and he already had a match against Drew McIntyre at the Royal Rumble. This would be his second match, so he's not going to win. But I feel like I've been saying for weeks, man, I'm not even mad at this, because you kind of expected shit like this from WWE, to go out and get Bill Goldberg because they need surprises. No, he's not going to show up every week either. And Bill Goldberg's not going to draw tickets because of the reason I just said. Bill Goldberg is not going to be there every single week. He'll be there probably next week, and he'll be there on the Go Home show. You know, I wish he was in Orlando on August 9th so that when his music hits, I boo. So you know what? I hope Goldberg shows up in Orlando on August 9th because I will boo Goldberg. I will boo him. But the rumors were true from Thursday. We're getting Goldberg versus Bobby Lashley for the WWE title at SummerSlam. And then that was not even the most controversial thing of the night. To believe it or not, to have Goldberg come back and challenge Bobby Lashley, that was not even the worst thing on the entire show, man. We had the debut of the NXT champion, Karrion Kross, tonight. He comes out, there's a vignette, his music plays, his face is zoomed in on, and there's no Scarlet. There's no smoke. There's no black and white. There's the music, but it's just Karrion Kross out there by himself. And right then and there, he was doomed. He was doomed. He walked out there with his NXT championship. He got no reaction. Your NXT champion got no reaction. That's not good. Not good at all. So right then and there, he came out as generic superstar number 5 in WWE 2K with that entrance. Adam Cole was right all along. He said, without the girl, without the smoke, without the mute, without the coolness, you're nothing. And Adam Cole was right. It wasn't that. It was what makes you special is the girl and the smoke and the music and your coolness. And he's right. And those words cannot be any more true. Those words spoken by Adam Cole to Karrion Kross cannot be any more true, man. this guy lost to Jeff Hardy. Now, Jeff Hardy came out to No More Words. Good for him. He got his old theme song back. But guy lost to Jeff Hardy after he got rolled up by Jeff Hardy, and Hardy put his foot on the rope like he was a heel. He had a babyface cheat to win and beat the NXT champion, which they consider NXT minor league. I was devastated. I was fucking pissed watching this. Not only did you ruin this guy's chances of ever succeeding on the main roster, ever getting to what he said on that promo. Remember when he got that promo on Johnny Gargano? My goals are to be the NXT champion forever. Not happening. Main event WrestleMania. Not happening. And become the WWE champion. And after tonight, how can you see that? How can you see that after they had him job out? This guy was undefeated in NXT. He beat 5 of the best in NXT in one match. He beat Finn Balor twice. He destroyed Tommaso Ciampa. All in NXT. And on night 1, on Monday Night Raw, he's in a match against Jeff Hardy, and he loses in 2 minutes. I can't even express how pissed off this makes me, man. As a huge, huge fan of NXT, I'm super pissed. I'm not only pissed because the NXT champion is buried. Not even that. Karrion Kross is buried. The NXT championship is looked like a joke. And the entire NXT brand is made to look like a bunch of losers without them even being in this scenario. They all look like losers. How does that make the NXT? How does that make this whole thing with Karrion Kross and Samoa Joe look? Karrion Kross was buried in 2 minutes tonight by Jeff Hardy. And then tomorrow night, he's going to show up on NXT, and they're going to make him look like this huge deal with choking out Samoa Joe. How am I going to believe that he's a big deal after he lost to Jeff Hardy in 2 minutes? How are you going to make me believe that? So, if I had to guess, tomorrow night, he's getting stripped. There's no way they can continue this and make me feel like I could take him seriously. Because I can't take him serious anymore. The guy lost on his first night in 2 minutes. Dead. Ruined. Destroyed. Was Karrion Kross and the NXT brand. The NXT brand was made to look like a bunch of losers. And how is this good in the viewer's eyes? If you are I'm not a casual wrestling fan, okay, but I know there are casuals out there. There are casuals out there who do not watch NXT on Tuesday nights. How does it look for them that they're watching Raw and the NXT champion shows up in 2 minutes and loses? Does that make them want to tune into NXT tomorrow night? Or does that make them laugh at the NXT champion, laugh at the NXT championship, and laugh at the brand as a whole. If these call-ups are going to look like this, like, what's the point of watching NXT? I can't believe I just said that. But it's true. What's the point of even watching NXT if this is their fate? I'm just... I hate this, man. I really, really hate this. I hated this more than Bill Goldberg. I hated this more than Nikki Ash, the superhero, winning the Raw Women's Championship tonight to end the show. This pisses me off as a diehard NXT fan. It really does, man. And I will be here tomorrow night to talk about it more with Cameron Johnson because he already messaged me during tonight's show. He's like, dude, I'm going to have to rant about this on tomorrow's review. And I'm like, dude, I'm giving you the floor for 5 minutes. Say whatever you got to say. I'm going to say my shit tonight. Maybe I'll say more tomorrow, but I mean, this has got to be the biggest NXT burial I think I've ever seen. Seriously. The NXT Championship is made to look like on the same level as the freaking 24/7 title. It's made to look like a complete joke. A joke. I'm so fed up right now, man. It's killing me. It's killing me inside, man. Main event, really quickly. I'm getting out of here. Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair. Did not care about the match. It was not going to be better than last night's match. They had a great match about last night. They had a great match last night, my bad. Tonight it ended in a DQ after Charlotte was walking away. Rhea Ripley came up and Charlotte hit her with the title, but they were brawling. Rhea Ripley hit her with a rip title on the outside, rolled her in the ring. Nikki ASH. It's Ash. But they say ASH like a bunch of idiots. She ran out, cashed in the briefcase, hit a sloppy crossbody, and pinned Charlotte. So there we go. Having Charlotte win the title simply to add another reign on it. I swear to God, she has not had a longer reign than 40 days as women's. I really cannot. Can you guys honestly remember one good reign Charlotte Flair has had in WWE? No. Not a single reign can I remember from Charlotte in WWE. Because she loses and then she wins it back. She loses and then she wins it back. Nikki Ash is the women's champion. Her gimmick sucks. You know why she won the women's championship? Because WWE looked at the fan backlash that this was getting. He's like, oh, you know what? We're going to put it in their faces. Yep. First, we're going to give her the briefcase. And then second, tomorrow on Raw, we're going to give her the championship. We're going to show these people how wrong they are. And they're going to make us to look like stupid for hating Nikki Ash. I know why she's the champion. I'm not stupid. We're not stupid. This show was a train wreck. And Lord help me if we get a show like this in 3 weeks. Holy shit. I don't want a bad show on my birthday, man. And I'll be there. And plus, it's the road to SummerSlam. But if this is a teaser of how the following weeks are going to be from Monday Night Raw leading into SummerSlam, man, it's going to be a long 4 Mondays, man. It's going to be a dreadful 4 weeks of Monday Night Raw. If we're getting shows like this leading up to SummerSlam with fans, with the return of fans even. But I'm done. 45 minutes is way too long for a trash show like this tonight. Thank you guys for watching. What a long night. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Goal last week was to get to 420. Haven't done that yet. We're struggling on subs, man. Come on, man. I love the positive. I love being positive about my subscribers. I love all you, man. But if you're a subscriber, tell a friend, tell an uncle, tell your dad, whatever, man. Subscribe to the Big Fight Feel. You're going to want to. And you won't regret it either, man. You will not regret it. Comment down below your thoughts about tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw. Hit the like button if you like what you heard from me in tonight's review. Follow me on Twitter at Colin_Joseph. I will see you guys for tomorrow night's NXT review, where me and Cameron are going to talk about Xia Li versus Raquel Gonzalez for the NXT Women's title. And we're going to talk more about the burial of Karrion Kross and NXT tonight on Monday Night Raw. Have a good night, guys. Stay safe. And as always, stay classy.